When people are asked about what the biggest threat facing us as Americans are, what do you think the response is? Aside from the ongoing pandemic, you may hear things such as climate change, maybe foreign powers such as Russia or China. There is, however, a major issue looming on the horizon, and the public as a whole is either incredibly misinformed or told in such a way that it has little to no impact on how they go on with their daily lives. This problem is the extreme rise in college prices as certain generations get older. When the cause of this problem is brought up, there is almost always a debate on what the cause may have been. Was it too much government influence that handed out these blank checks to students, which allowed the prices to rise to extreme levels? Or was it too little government influence that gave these universities free rein to convince one of the most vulnerable demographics that their services were a necessity to obtain any type of success in a career? I personally believe the issue is not black and white, and it is much too complex for a simple speech to fix. I do believe, however, that there is a lack of information being spread out to the public about the dangers that this college debt crisis will cause for the future of our country. Another idea that is constantly brought up by older generations is that they will say, well, when I went to college, I worked part-time to pay for my tuition. These millennials, these Generation Z, they are just far too lazy, so it is not my problem to fix, it's their problem. Well, for one thing, that fails to acknowledge that college is a much different world than it was in past generations. According to Forbes, the price of college is rising 8 times faster than wages. This is no longer a service that can be paid for with a part-time job like it was in the past. Also, when it comes to, well, it's their problem, not mine, well, an issue like this affects all of us, no matter the age. Multiple sources have noted that the Social Security Reserve Fund will become solvent in 2035. Now, will the government create some legislation to kick that can down the road? That will be determined, but the fact still stands that we are taking more money out than we are putting back in. Now, how do you fix that? Simple. Besides extreme taxation, which will only do so much and may even hurt the middle class, you have to have people make more money to put back into the system than they're taking out. Specifically, the 35 to 55-year-old age group that are the highest payers into programs like Social Security, because those who are 65 and up are going to be the ones receiving the benefits. A main way that people make money or obtain wealth in an economy like the United States is by taking risks and investing into one's own life. And with the current state of the student debt crisis, we are entering a huge problem in terms of taking risks. In past generations, say Generation X or in the 80s and 90s, they were able to enter their late 20s with little to no debt. And because of this, they were able to get loans from banks to start businesses, to buy a house. They also had more security to pursue other jobs, which creates more competition within higher markets. This helps build wealth and equity for the rest of their lives, which will then pay into government programs. Now, recent college graduates are leaving college with an average of $30,000 of debt, according to marketplace.org. And many are leaving with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. That means you will have many Americans going into their 30s with this debt, and because of this, they will be unable to take these risks that are vital to increase one's wealth. No bank will want to hand out loans to someone who, in their late 30s, who obtained debt and haven't paid it off yet, they obtained when they were 22. These Americans will continue to rent apartments instead of buying homes. They will rather have the security of previous jobs than create and start their own business or leave to pursue a new passion. So at a time like 2035, where it is vital that we find more ways to put money into the system, we are entering a perfect storm of catastrophe as these recent college graduates get older. The entrepreneurship spirit that has pushed America to become one of the most advanced and prosperous economy the world has ever seen is currently at risk of disappearing. Now, do I have any clear solutions to fix this debt crisis? No. Am I asking you to vote for a specific political party or candidate? No. But the first step in fixing a problem is acknowledging that it exists. And a problem like this is not only affecting the college graduates themselves, it's affecting all Americans. And on top of that, the lack of information currently being spread has made this issue almost invisible to so many.